Hello friends, welcome to the channel. If today is your first visit to our channel, we invite you to look around our over 300 videos, as we are confident you're going to find something you both enjoy and find useful. If you have been here before but you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe. If it is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. Today we're going to take on another whimsical and fun project that we have not attempted in the past, and this is turning an ordinary ball into an extraordinary one. So this is our project for today. You didn't like my dramatic reveal? You didn't catch it? Catch it.
Alright.
Right, are you ready?
Yeah.
We're going to take this and turn it into this. Better? Alright folks, we never claimed that we were professional cinematographers, but we are getting there. And, I'm sorry?
Because I know how to push the button.
Oh, is that all it takes?
Right.
Pushing the button, okay. Alpida is a professional cinematographer, but I'm not. But in any case, enjoy the video. We don't have our usual banter match in this video, I don't think so, but we have a little bit.
No, because I'm busy.
Busy doing what?
Working.
You're doing nothing.
Really.
You're pushing buttons.
Yeah, but in this video, I'm over there.
Oh, I see. In any case, stick around, see how we did it, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Okay, so I recently picked up this set of wooden bowls at a local thrift store, and I had originally thought just to clean them up and start using them, but looking around I decided to make a project out of them. So this is a nice teak. I really loved the grain, and what I did when I brought them home was to just clean them up and recondition them, add some oil to it, and it really just made them look so much nicer. What I'm going to do today is try to take that finish off a little bit, so I can then work on finishing them in a different way than just this plain wood grain. As lovely as it is, we want to make it do a little bit more for us. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the sander, sand down one of the bowls, see how that looks, and then go forward with the refinishing project. Okay, so I used this sander to get all the outside and the underneath of the bowl, also the top edge a little bit, but as you go into the inner part of the bowl, while the sander does exactly fit in the bowl, it won't do much more than create this gouge. So I took the pad off there, and now I'm just working to do a hand sanding inside the bowl to get that finish off, and that's what I'm going to continue to work on. It's going to be a little more slow going than with the electric sander, but we'll come back when everything's taken off and we're ready to go to the next step. Okay, you can see that I've got the finish taken down, and just by comparison, here's what the original finish was when it was all oiled up, cleaned up. Here we are. Pretty significant difference once we take it down, sanding it all down. And now we're ready for the next step in our process. Okay, and here I am set up ready to do the next step. The bowl is here. Gotta turn on the flame. You might think I'm a pyro or something, always doing this flame, but the truth is I just like what it does to the wood. It's been very beautiful on the stool that I finished, so we're going to give this a go and see what it does to this teak. Gonna take a quick commercial break, finish burning this. I need to find something to set it on, bring it up a little bit higher so I don't have to turn the propane tank upside down because it doesn't seem to like that. So far, here's what the wood is looking like. It's taken on a nice char, but it still needs to go a little bit deeper. Kind of hard to see, I think, on camera. But I'm going to finish that up and then we'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, at this point the bowl's taken on a nice char. Just have a little bit of finish work to do. And hopefully my fuel lasts that long. Had a lot of nice flames going. And I really want to try to get this a dark finish so that when I scrape it out with the metal wire brush, it's going to reveal that really beautiful wood grain again. And the wood is getting pretty hot, which is why I put it up against this block of wood that I found in the garage. For me, as I see the flame coming up, then I kind of back off, let it burn itself out. And go on to the next piece. And I have double gloved, just trying to offset that heat because I do still need to turn the piece. Go on this edge a little bit more. let that cool off. Then I'll come back with the wire brush and we'll do a reveal and see what that brought out for us. Right now the wood is still pretty hot, so we're going to give it a few minutes. Stay tuned. So the piece is still quite hot. It's going to take a little while to be cooling down, but I wanted to bring this forward to show you how just the flames have brought up the grain on this wood. And you can see a lot of char as well, which again will be scraped off with that wire brush. But the grain, I think, is just really beautiful the way it brings it up. So we'll see ultimately how this comes out, but so far I'm pleased with the results. Okay, the burned one is now cooled off enough. I got a little bit impatient because it was taking a little longer than I have experienced in the past, so I ran it under some cool water real quick and have wiped it down. I also brought one of the bowls with the original finish on it just so you can make a comparison. And again, this grain really comes up, but it's such a dramatic change from the original finish I wanted to show you. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and take that wire brush and scrape the finish. And the brush actually does a really great job of getting that char off, getting it down into the wood grain. Just a little bit more. I think I'm going to have a little bit more of a challenge doing the inside because I have a rectangular brush and a round middle. But I'm going to do my best. And real quick, here's what it's looking like without any kind of an oil. And I know you guys have seen before, and maybe we'll put that link up there again. Just what a dramatic change it makes to put that oil on there and bring it out. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the interior, and then we'll come back and talk about what we're going to do next. Okay, we're back at the shop, and again you can see the finish is now very significantly different, but you can still see how nice the wood grain is. And in general, next step would be to just apply the oil finish, which is going to make everything go, but there is another step that I want to do. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to figure out that part, and then we'll come back and show you what we're going to do before we do the oil. But again, you can see just how different what you do to your wood project is going to make the outcome. Okay, here we are at the table deciding how to do the design. I'm going to do kind of an Aboriginal dot painting design on the side of the bowls at intervals. So what I had to do was start by measuring the circumference of the bowl. Then I created a template, that exact circumference that fits exactly around the bowl. Can't see it now, but it does, it fits exactly. And then I measured out the intervals. So the actual circumference is 18 and a half. Half of that would be 9 1/4, and then quarters come out to 4 10/16. And so that's what I marked here at the straight line intervals. And then I wanted approximately a 45-degree angle to give it that angled look. And each section is going to be about 2 inches wide, top and bottom. So I measured out a 2 inches wide, and I'm using grid paper to make it a little easier. 2 inches wide, 2 inches wide. You can see this. Helps if you get the actual inches there. 2 inches. And then again, I've got the 45-degree angle going there. I drew a few lines along with the grid lines on this grid paper. And then I just started marking a few dots, and that's what I'm going to get started with. And I've cut out the template, and it will go on the side of the bowl like this, so I'll know where to mark. I do have to mark the bowl in advance so I know where to put the template, and then I'll get started. Okay, have my workstation set up inside. This has been sitting for a little while, and what I noticed is that there was still some char left on it, so I took this sanding block, which is a double-sided 220 and 120, and I used the 220 just to do a light rubbing on it, get the rest of it off, and then just a barely damp cloth just to get that dust residue. And I'm going to use the template that I set up the other day, going around the outside to make my markings. And I already told you all the measurements and everything, so I won't go over that again, but this will fit exactly, and then I'm going to tape it together and mark up the bowl. Try to get it evenly placed around so it's got a good top and bottom edge. Can you see the pencil marks?
No, it's black, too dark.
Well, from my angle I can see them. They're shiny against the bowl, so that's really what I'm going for, just so that I can see them as I'm marking out the pattern.
What is that?
So this is the template for the rough design that I started mapping out on grid paper, and I'm not going to tape it up to the bowl like I originally intended. What I'm going to do is start marking these lines so that I can use them as a rough guide as I'm starting to paint. But what I will do after I mark these lines is take another straight edge and go top to bottom so that they can be there. And again, this is all on a 45-degree angle. And I'll just do that on the 4 sections all the way around the bowl. Is the mic on?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to get it started with the design, and just going to try to do a evenly spaced dots.
There's no try, either do or don't do.
Okay, here's where I am now. I've gone all the way around, and I did just a basic dot at intervals, approximately 10 per line. I started out with this brush and wasn't very happy with the way the dots were coming out, so I switched to a pen tip, which makes a more consistent dot, although clearly I am in need of practice. When I got to the final one, I decided I wanted some bigger dots, so I flipped the paintbrush over and used that to create these bigger dots. And then, I don't know if you can see them. Can you see the teeny tiny ones in here? Just enhances that design a little bit more. And I basically just used a nail head, the pointy tip. And this just takes a little bit of patience and time to go along the lines and decide where you want to fill in. For now, I think I'm going to continue around and complete this design and then decide if I want to do anything else before we clear coat the paint sections and then oil the parts that aren't. So I'll keep working. Okay, so the light pencil marks that I marked earlier, now I'm going back with the pencil eraser, just a basic pencil eraser. And probably an art gum eraser would work better, I just don't happen to have one. This one I'm making sure is really soft, and it's really effective getting all of the pencil marks that are showing still off the design, and that just cleans it up a little bit. And now, to highlight this design a little bit more, I'm choosing a red. It's a dark red. Tuscan red is the color. I'm just going to go back into the really large dots and put another red dot into it, and that's going to highlight the design a little bit more. And so that's what I'll work on, and we'll come back and show you the next step in the process once that's completed. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now I'm preparing to tape this up so that we can do the clear coat on the painted parts of the project. I want to make sure that it's taped up really well so that I don't get any overspray on the parts that I plan to oil, because oil I think is the better finish for the burned wood. So I'm just going to take my time and make sure that this gets done correctly. And then we'll come back and show you when it's all fully taped. Okay, so I used a piece of paper and a bunch of blue painter's tape to tape up the bowl. I've allowed just a tiny bit of a border, and of course this is the part that we're going to clear coat. We're going to put it face down on our bench so that overspray is going to go in the places that are either taped and then of course where we want it to go, and not inside where we're going to oil it. So let's get that going. You might want to move it back from the cord though.
Huh?
It's a little far back and you're going to spray your cord. There you go.
Ready? I don't know if you can see it. That's really fantastic job. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's four.
It made a big difference.
Yeah. So that's the first coat. We'll let that dry. Hey, don't, no. Let it dry, please.
There was.
Okay. So we'll let it dry and then come back and do a second coat, and then we'll be able to take that all off and oil. So we're putting on the second coat. Again, just really light. We don't want a real heavy spray. The lighter coat's going to allow it to dry a little bit quicker too.
Even though they are the perfect conditions for this.
Yeah, it's a great day. It's a really nice temperature, not too hot, not too cold.
I think we're done.
Yeah, that's
It
cool.
looks really good.
Yeah, so we'll let that dry and then come back and finish the rest of the bowl with that. Okay, so I'm pulling the tape off. You can see where the clear coat is and the non-treated part of the wood. This is coming off very nicely. There we go. And now I'm going to get a cloth and apply a little bit of coconut oil. And this is just regular old food grade coconut oil. If you wanted it liquefied, you could melt it a little bit before, but this is a soft solid that I have out of my jar.
It would have helped if I was actually recording what you were doing.
Wow. Are you recording what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying it would be helpful.
Well, you know.
I try to only touch areas that you don't have the designs.
But I'm confused by your statement.
You were putting your fingers on top of the
Yeah,
designs.
let's try.
Okay. I don't know, I think the linseed oil.
I didn't want linseed oil though.
It is food safe, you know.
I still wanted coconut.
It's what?
Said I still wanted to use coconut oil.
Okay.
And I think part of it is that the wood is really, really dry from being burned, so it has to soak in.
And the other part is that no linseed oil. I know. C is not happy. C will get happy. Okay, good. I think we're
Almost finished. Yeah.
Of course, you don't have to burn this. You can do the same project by applying some form of stain. Burning and using a form of oil will allow this to be food safe, if you want it to be food safe.
And of course I've seen people just painting them with the kind of honey gold finish they already have. I just wanted to do something a little bit different that I hadn't seen anybody do yet.
Yeah, our channel is the trend-setting channel of the internet.
Well, you never know. This one could go viral since I hadn't seen anybody else do it.
Yes. I'm certain of that.
See now?
Now the bottom looks
Look at that. See?
Alright friends, thank you for sticking with us for another episode. We are very happy on how this project came along, and again, remember we started with this, which we got at the second-hand store, and this is the end result, and you can see the huge difference, right? And this is one of the things we want to discuss. We don't have a lathe, so we cannot turn bolts and things like that. So for us, you really can buy this ready on a second-hand store for less than you would buy the wood to do it. So we do go to second-hand stores often, and if we find something of interest like this, we will get it. And we have really good plans for the big bowl. We put it there just to show you the contrast between the two. But you don't always have to have all the equipment. Again, in most every store you will go, at some point you will find a set of bowls. Don't you think?
Yeah.
And again, I want to show you the difference. Better? So, you want to get the detail on here?
It's funny because on camera it looks almost black. It's just a really, really deep brown color, but it does look almost black on film.
So this is our episode for today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please smash that like button. If you didn't, the other button works as well. Share, like, subscribe and comment. Let us know what you want to see. And we are going to see you again on Wednesday and next Sunday with another project. From the Garage Wizard, Elpida and the Urban Homesteading channel, we bid you a great week.